courts. Okay, sounds like a great idea, but then of course, who are going to be the judges, and who are going to be the courts, and what are going to be the laws? Are they going to be respectful of personal rights, or more respectful of state rights? Whenever anybody says there's going to be a law, who is that going to favor, or is it going to be a fair law? That would be a wonderful idea, but not all laws are fair, and all courts are just, as we all know. Number 6 on the Guidestones is let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. There's been a movement for that for some time. We'll go more into this in detail. We do have a break coming up here, but after that, we'll be right back and go over the rest of what's on the Guidestones. And, of course, if you have any comments or calls, come on in. Mysterious America, my name's Alex Bond. Happy to have you here on iWatchRadio.com. Thank you. Welcome back to Mysterious America. I'm your guide, Alex Bond, here at iWatchRadio.com. Thank you so much for joining me here on Mysterious America. Today we're going over a video that I took in 2002 in Elberton, Georgia. This is the site of what's known as the Georgia Guidestones. For those just joining us, it's eight different languages on 4 huge granite blocks, 16 feet tall, and they are instructions for the future of mankind, as the people that commissioned this were not really known. It was a bit of a mystery. Somebody came in with this, he admitted it wasn't his real name, put the money up. Albertson took the money, built the monument, and bingo, there you have it. The languages that you're looking at, I don't know, that might be, let's see, there's 8 different languages. Hebrew and Arabic, they're together. English and Spanish. You're looking at the capstone there. That's the very top, which kind of holds everything together. And the capstone, of course, let me go back a little bit here. The capstone has 4 languages: Babylonian cuneiform, Sanskrit, Egyptian hieroglyphics, and classical Greek. That probably would be Sanskrit right there, as you can see. And then the languages again around the block. Hebrew and Arabic are on one side and the other. Then you have English and Spanish, Russian and Chinese, and then Swahili and Hindi. Again, those are the 8 languages. They all say the same things. Just to kind of recap what we had mentioned a moment ago. Number 1 on the blocks was maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. And that obviously means a great deal less people on this planet than presently exist. We're closing in on 7 billion. Some people believe that it's just a matter of proper management. Other people believe there's just too many of you and me here, and we got to go. Number 2, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. There's a lot of definitions can be with all of those, but some people believe that could mean something to do with eugenics. The 3rd rule on the monuments: unite humanity with a living new language, as in one single language. Can you imagine enforcing that? Well, that would take a few generations, but anything can be done within about 3 generations, if indeed you want to eliminate any of the diversity that was acquired through all the other languages, which are included on the guidestone. There's 8 of them. Kind of a contradiction there a little bit. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Number 5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. We all want to know who's going to be the judge in those situations and what laws we would be forced to obey in that type of situation. Many people would look at that as an indication of world government, one world government. It's been called a lot of things. Globalization, New World Order, world government. It's all basically the same package. And of course that means the United States Constitution, as you and I know it, would have to be eliminated. There's no way that that's going to stand up in a world situation with all the diversity of views that would have to be put into play. Number 6, yes. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Now, this is quite a translation here when you think about it. Actual experiences with world body organizations suggest that they can only grow as individual nations give up their sovereignty. United Nations is a great example. In recent years, they've really tried hard to enact a global tax a variety of ways. They're still doing that today. And of course, global warming plays right into the hands of this whole scheme, if you will. To get a global tax, you've got to have people believe they have to contribute or be forced to contribute. Excuse me. The UN troops that marched into Somalia, for example, disarming all those under its temporary protection while the enemy gang was left to roam in Mogadishu. The public that was armed had managed to keep out all but the most serious intrusions in their lives, but after being disarmed, that was it. What you're seeing there now, that is Babylonian cuneiform. I thought I'll go through a few things as we go through the tour, if that's all right, so you can kind of see what that looks like. Again, that's Babylonian cuneiform. Not very many people read those ancient markings. I don't. I admit it. It's okay. Nonetheless, the 7th instruction on the Georgia Guidestones is to avoid petty laws and useless officials. That would seem to be a slap in the face of bureaucracy, which, as we all know, as bureaucracy grows, it seems to be getting more and more inefficient. You pay more people to do more things, and less seems to be getting done. Now, that's Cyrillic behind me there. Bureaucracy being the problem that it is, when it gets big enough, it does seem to create problems also. It creates sometimes counter laws, one law that goes one way and one goes the other way. Nonetheless, this is number 7. And of course, who decides what is petty and who is useless? Again, you have to have a body or an organization that will make those decisions. Number 8 is to balance personal rights with social duties. The translation on that: individuals have a natural concern for their personal welfare, but man is a social animal and must also be concerned for the group. Failure of society also means failure for its individual citizens. A more enlightened perspective would also include cautioning the state not to push social duties over those of personal rights. There is a strong movement in the U.S. to have every student work for 75 hours in some state-approved community service. That's before they graduate high school. So that is part of this social duty would be assigned. Now, what you saw there recently was that hole that I do believe does have to do with getting the sun coming through there at a particular time of day. It works quite often, and there's also the ability to mark the maximum rise of certain stars, the winter solstice sunrise, the maximum south rise of the moon, the equinox sunrise, the north celestial poles, Polaris, all through the guidestones. So it does have astronomical significance similar to a Stonehenge, as would the rest of the construction that they had talked about doing but never did. It's an amazing monument, and would take, I think, quite a bit to push down, particularly with that capstone on there. That does really secure them. They're 16 feet high, total of 19 feet 3 inches, and with the instructions for the future of mankind. Okay? Who assigns social duties? The government. Number 9. We're almost at the end of our Guidestone tour here. And if you do have any comments, don't forget, email us. Got to hear from you. Patrick at iWatchRadio.com. My name's Alex Baum. This is Mysterious America. Our ninth Guidestone for the future of mankind. That's pretty amazing. And to go back on this, what you can see in this particular hole, you can see it was drilled from both directions. You can see it going up, and you can see it coming down. That's why I took this particular video this way. So apparently they didn't have a drill that would go all the way through the width of the Guidestone, but you can see that it does give you a vision where the sun will come through at a certain time of day. There we go. The 9th instruction on the Georgia Guidestones: prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. The infinite here, of course, would mean the supreme being, by whichever religion you choose to get there. It is something that could be an expression for maybe a one-world religion. Certainly not a guarantee. There would never be a religious war based, on the next civilization. But it might be something that would